Both of my kids who are in university came home for the holidays and both found this intriguing. Hi there, Purple Plant Girl here. I thought I'd give you a little update on the smart pot that was sent out to me the end of November. So I received this November 22nd, and I did a quick little video just kind of unboxing it and getting it, kind of showing the parts and getting it set up a little bit. And other than that, I didn't really, other than what I saw when I got it, I didn't really know much about it. I'm not paid to do any videos or publicity or anything about this. It was just the company that asked if they could send me one, and I said yes, and so I'm just sharing it with you. It's an interesting little all-in-one unit. I'd never seen one with quite so many features before, but I've never really tried one of these before either. This one has a little Bluetooth speakers in it, so you can Bluetooth music to it and use it to listen to music. It has a clock. It has an alarm clock. I've never actually used that feature of it, so I can't tell you how well that works. The clock is only in 24-hour time. It doesn't look like you can change it out of that. So if that's something that doesn't work for you, that's something to know. It has like a vaporizer or mister kind of system to it that has a few different settings. So you have this automatic one. It comes on when the whole unit wakes up, and I'll talk about that a bit later, and stays on for the kind of the time the unit is on, and it mists intermittently. I think it's like 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, something like that. And you can add essential oil scents to it if you want, and you just fill it through a little fill port on the side here. And you don't have to keep these little funnels in, but I just found I have to fill it every couple days anyways. And there's a fill level indicator on the side. And the same with this side here, because it has a grow light that you can pot up a plant. Now, it's not like a hydroponic system, so you need soil, so the plant is growing in soil. And then there's water in the bottom that it has a wick that will keep the plant watered for you, but you do have to keep the water reservoir filled, and there's a level indicator on the side there as well. And again, a fill port on this side that comes with a little funnel that you can choose to keep in or not. My house is pretty dry. I find I'm filling it every 3 to 4 days, so I just leave these little things in here. There's this grow light, which again, you have the automatic setting, or you can set it to just, you can turn it on and off on your own at the hours that you like. And there's a high and a low or an off for that. Or you can use it as like a desk lamp, and this unit will turn a little bit so you can direct light where you want it. And is that as high as it goes? I can't remember. Yeah, so it goes up to this height, and then you can lower it down closer to the plant if you like for the plant light. And then there's it's supposed to be an air cleaner type setting at the top as well. Now, I've never heard a fan or anything run here. I have no idea how it works. And that also has the always like the where you choose when it's on or off, or you can set it when the lights are green, it's in the automatic setting. So when the lights are in the automatic setting, this unit comes on, I believe it's at 8:30 in the morning, and it turns off at noon, and then it comes back on at 1:30, and it turns off at 5:30. So if you are someone who's forgetful like me and you want to use that automatic setting, all my grow lights are on an automatic setting. That's not a lot of hours of light. So it seems like a fairly good grow light, but it's not on enough. So if I take a light meter and put it under the light is registering at a pretty good bright light setting. But because it's not on very many hours a day, normally with artificial lighting, you would want 14 to 16 hours of light, and that just is not getting anywhere near that on the automatic setting. So I had initially put this hypostasis plant in there, or hippo plant, polka dot plant, and that's this is a plant that I just dug up from my yard in the fall to grow on through the season to have back out in the yard. It's a pretty common houseplant though, and I thought it would do pretty well in a situation like this. It was growing well. I just had it under my grow lights and it was growing as a nice, decent looking plant there. But when I put it in here, it just started to stretch. And so I pulled it about December 8th. I switched it out for a fern. I thought, well, maybe this just isn't enough light. And the fern has done much better. Now, I think if I had left it and just was using the manual setting for the light, that this plant might have done well. And as you can see, I took cuttings off of this when I moved it out of this pot and into this pot to bring the height down, because it was at the top of the light setting here, and it was growing past the light by December 8th from November 22nd. And it had started out as a small plant. So I just thought it was stretching too much because this light wasn't enough. Now, I don't know, this plant just wants to be a stretched out, raggedy looking plant here, I think. It wasn't getting much light where it was in my yard, and it was growing as a nice little plant. But since I brought it inside, I don't know if it's the heat in my house or what it is, but it's just been growing gangly. So I might have been wrong, and it might have just been the plant and not the light that was a problem. But I do know there wasn't enough light hours. And when I tried to have it on the manual setting, I just kept forgetting because I have it in my sewing room, and I just wouldn't always go in there until later in the day. I think if you had it somewhere like on your bedside table where you could turn it on when you get up and turn it off when you go to sleep, or, you know, like in a dorm room or something like that, or in your office, you know, so you had a plant on a desk if you had a dark office without a lot of windows, but you wanted to have a nice plant because it is good and it's healthy for you to have plants around. So when you came into work that day, you turned it on, you know, and by the time you went through your whole day and left for work at the end of the day and you could turn it off, that would probably give it close to 9 hours. For some people, more like, you know, 10 or 12, depending on the kind of work day they work. A lot of people work more than their regular hours these days. I think something like that would work well. But for me, just for the plant having to rely on me turning the light on and off, that just wasn't a good option for it. And you can't set it on a timer because the only power source controls the clock and everything. So then I would lose my clock settings as well. So I've quite enjoyed having this in my sewing room. My sewing room is also my office where I edit videos and I do other office work. So it's nice to have a plant in there, and it's a room where it's hard for me to have plants in that room because there's only one window and it faces north. There's just not a lot of light. So this has been a nice option. And with our very dry winters, I've actually really quite liked having this little kind of vaporizer unit going in that room. I think it has really helped me to feel less dried out when I'm in there working. And I've really liked that feature. As for the air cleaner, like I said, I have no idea how well it works. And if I was going to listen to music in that room, I would just turn it on through my phone. So I wouldn't need to use, the speaker is no better than the speaker in my phone, in my opinion. But if you had another little unit that you wanted to Bluetooth this to, maybe from another room or something, then you could probably use it and it would work fine. The speakers work fine. I think I took a little clip where I Bluetooth some copyright safe music from the YouTube library. So I'll insert that here. When I first set this up, I was like, what can't this unit do? You know, it's a air purifier, it's a vaporizer, it's a clock, it's an alarm clock, it's a Bluetooth speaker, and it grows plants, and it's a desk light if you need it to be that. A grow light, you know, it seemed to do everything. And I think it still does. I think, like I said, if you want the plant light part to work well for you, you're either going to need a low light plant if you're using the automatic setting, or you're just going to need to turn it on manually and be better at remembering to do that than I was. Otherwise, I think it's a great unit. So the plant has never dried out on me, just using this self-watering system. Like I said, the air in my home is really dry. So even though these hold, I think it's almost 2 cups. I think it's like 1.75 cups each in each of these compartments. I fill the vaporizer part about every 2 days, sometimes every 3 days. And I just leave it on the automatic setting. So it comes on with the unit and it does the same hours, that like 8:30 to noon, 1:30 to 5 or whatever it is. And then the watering part, because I think it's just wicking up as it's needed. I think I fill it every, like I said, think it was like 3 to 4 days, something like that. I come in and just top it up. So it works pretty well for that. And I think with a little fern or something like this that goes in here, it should do well in here and grow to the light. This fern has actually grown, I think, a good amount since I put it in here, but it's not getting like leggy, lanky, or looking unhealthy at all. So I think it's happy with this situation. So I will leave a link down below if you want to check this unit out for yourself and see what you think of it. Like I said, the company sent it to me for free, so for a free product, I'm really enjoying it. Unless something goes terribly wrong with this unit in the next couple of months, this is probably the last update I'll give you on it. Like I said, that I'm not getting paid or anything to show it to you, but I did think it was kind of an interesting little unit. Both of my kids who are in university came home for the holidays and both found this intriguing. None of them are big plant people, but they both have a little plant that lives with them at school, and they both thought this was kind of an interesting unit. So I'm actually surprised that I've gotten away with still having it in my house and it hasn't traveled to one of their places yet. But that might still happen. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.